What's up guys, it's your boy, Lego Boy 1279 here, and we're back, and I'm not doing that anymore. So this is a video that I tried to make for the main channel, where I designed a brand new, better, homemade MTT, where you don't have to buy the new one, because it's overpriced garbage. Now, I did this literally on the first day of the set's release, on August 1st. It is now not that day. In fact, it's quite a bit later than that. It's almost been a month. So this was a bit of an experiment. As we go through this video, and you'll see things that I do in it, you may determine that I was perhaps correct to dump this idea as it was, mainly because I have no brick building mock experience of this type. So this was a pretty big thing to just jump right into. People way more intelligent than me, way better at building than me, with way more experience, have already done all this, and I'm genuinely tempted to just cheat and steal something from someone else at this point. But we'll see. I don't think it's that bad. I first decided to build the 2007 MTT, as you can see on screen right now. I built this sucker up, then I recolored it. I might have actually, I don't remember. This was before I decided to do this video even. I just built it because I was like, oh, I'm gonna recolor the MTT from 2007, then buy the parts for that instead of buying the new one. And then I was like, well, I kind of like some of the parts about the new one. What if we just combine the two? So then I decided we'll wait until August 1st, to have the instructions to put on lego.com, and bing bang boom, here we are. So let's just go to those instructions. We're gonna now just go through this immediately. I'm gonna build up, ignoring the step, I'm gonna build this entirely, and then we'll see how many techniques I find during this that I think can be adapted into the 2007 model. Hopefully, what I'm aiming for, obviously, is the mechanism that lets you move the thing. I don't know how this is going to have to be modified, but obviously I'm looking for the modification that will allow me to, bring the droids out and put it down on the floor. If nothing else, what I would like to see happen, I'd like to get a bit of the shaping that this model has better. See, this kind of paneling, if I can add this into the 2007 model somehow, that'd be golden. So here we are in Bricklink Studio. As you can see, we've got the design for my custom MTT here. Both of these ones, this was the original one I built basically exactly to specification, then I modified a few things on this one. Now, if today we don't manage to find anything good about the new model, I will probably end up buying the pieces for this one. It doesn't look perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it. I like the modifications I've added. I know it doesn't look exactly correct, but I like this model. I would be fine to own this in real life. However, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we can find some good techniques on this new one, and we will be able to actually design something pretty good here. A nice middle ground. I'm very much a novice when it comes to mock making though, so I'm not gonna hold my breath. We are 3 bags in here, and one thing I've noticed immediately, it's a little bit smaller than these, just a tiny, insinuating a little bit. But really, what's got my interest here, there's a lot less bricks, full bricks. It's utilizing a lot of the plates here instead, specifically these sorts of ones. I presume these are a little bit less harsh, I suppose, around the corners. I'm not sure why this would be utilized over regular plate. I suppose we'll find out. So here I am just building the actual battle droid segment here. This will actually pop out of the vehicle. One kind of annoying thing that obviously, because I'm doing this on day one, no one's put the parts on this. There's a search function here where you can import a Lego set, and you can just come up through here and look for the MTT, for example. That's now not loading, okay. But as you can see, you've got the MTTs here, but the new one is not yet available on here for an easy part palette. Now this isn't a huge thing. What it does do, kind of annoyingly, is cause me to have to go ahead, do a bit of a process here. So I need this part here, then I need to come over here, copy that, then move over to Google and pop it up the top here, find it here. So either by grabbing the name or enough of the name, right? And then hope that Studio will actually take that. Otherwise, try and use the part here. So if we try and use this, there you go. So it's the only slightly frustrating thing with this. As someone who's not obviously used to this program, it does take a bit of time. And also, this is obviously not the best place to be using Technic. Like, if I had the pieces, I'd be doing this in real life. But obviously, this is trying to kind of avoid the problem of buying this new set when this one's so much better. So it's been a few hours, and finally we got to the top of the model here, and the thing is starting to actually look like an MTT. Far smaller than that one, obviously, but I do have to admit, this is brilliant shaping. It's night and day. This looks so much better than this does. That's definitely going to be added onto the list. As much as I do like the way this looks, we'll try and see if I can puzzle out a better way to do it. Here's proof that I finished the build. I rendered them, I don't know why, but I did. Here's some images of other things that I did around this time. I mean, I stopped recording. I didn't record anything here. I don't think I was feeling too great at the time. Yeah, stuff happened. We now move on to the combined model where I start adding on panels and whatnot to it. And also I still had the vague hope that I was going to make the internal mechanism. That gets dashed pretty quickly later on. And here we are. I have now done at least one half of this model. Now this is not a final colour scheme, I'll admit as much. As you can see, it doesn't look quite the same. That being said, I did build it to be aesthetically pleasing to myself, so even if it looks a little chaotic, I do actually think I prefer the way it is right now, maybe with a few edits to some of the shaping here in terms of the colours. But as you can see, obviously, I don't know if this design is going to work. You'd have to finagle that in real life. I don't know if I'm going to be buying the parts for this soon. Only one half is done. I didn't do the other half. I'll just sort this out later. But I will mirror it so that it's the same on the other side as well. But that's just a contrast. It's the same as this one. You can see quite easily how things have changed. If you just go through the model here, I have changed the back here. I've got this little sloping bit here. On the original model, as you can see, it is just a flat bit here. And I wasn't a fan of this. There's just a gap in between there. So I wanted to change it so that it's a little bit more connected. I don't think it looks quite the same, and I didn't check any reference images. And obviously there's nothing on this side bit here other than these sort of chunky bits. So it's not really the best example. It's got nothing on this next section, which is obviously the panel that I've extended out of here. You can see this is where it would end normally, this part here. But I managed to bring it out, and that's, I think, enough to give it a bit more stability. They are separate panels, so this might be a little structurally unsound, but I personally kind of like it. There's a little detail here, I don't know if that will stay the way it is, but I kind of like it as it is. I've changed the top here. If you can see on this design, there's a lot here. I don't know if this is better or not. Personally, I think less is more in this case because of how I've changed the way the model's designed, but you know, maybe the original one was a bit better. I haven't changed this part here, but I did change both this section here so that it's a bit more like the new model, and then also this segment here, which does look a little strange from the front. Like, you can't tell now, but when I did it did look a little odd coming out, but I needed to do it so that this paneling would work. I didn't want to take out any of the structural beams or anything like that. Everything else is mostly the same. This looks fine from in my eyes. Perhaps something could be done here. I don't want to over design it, is the only thing. That ship might have sailed though. I think it's alright the way it is. This does still evoke a little bit of 2007, and especially at the front, I wanted to keep it as similar as possible. I did extend this out quite a bit, but I was considering doing a bit further there. You could just take a 1x2 and then bring it out just a little bit longer. I mean, you'd have to, and then you could probably drag one of these up like that. Looks a little off, or actually, maybe a better option would be this one here. That is for the sticker though, but like, there's a little bit more space that I don't particularly think it adds super much though. But I'm going to put it back to how it was. That's basically the shaping of this. I didn't want to change anything in the front too much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color swap this to match this. We'll just go through it and change it so that it's as close to this as possible. I want to see what it looks like, and maybe it'll look a little better, not sure. And then obviously I'll mirror it as well. So I did a bit of an oopsie and forgot to turn the microphone back on when recording the other half of this entire video. The magic's lost, whatever I said at that point is gone, and also the process that I was going through at the time. This annoyed me so much that I rage quit for literally 3 weeks. It's the 21st of August now, and I'm finally coming back to this. We're gonna have to try and reverse what I was thinking. So first off, immediately I dumped the idea of recreating the mechanism inside. Pretty early on, after starting to try, I realized that doing it on the program without any real technical experience was stupid. You need that kind of thing in hand. I don't have the parts spare to do that, so I just gave up. Also, in the footage here, you can see that I built the MTT fully, then carved it up looking for things that I got wrong with it. and then went back and recolored it. In fact, the recoloring was the last thing I did, but I'm sort of displaying it in this footage as though it was the first thing I did. There's no real reason to that. I pulled up the reference image, got the paint roller tool that I literally just discovered that day, and then went to town on it. It was like, I don't know how long this took me, I can't even remember, and I recolored it and I thought, oh, this looks amazing. My prior one did not look anywhere near as solid as this one. I mean, you can be the judge of that. They're both on screen right now. I do really prefer the recolor. It doesn't look exactly dead on, but I think it looks a lot closer, and that actually works. I don't hate what I had before, but in my head, when I was actually building it the first time, I thought it looked amazing. Like, oh, this is so cool, man. I can't wait to buy this. And then I recolored it, and like, that's way better. I did have a problem, of course, that not everything is available in certain colors. I had some real issues with certain pieces not being in dark blue, but also some weird ones not being in light gray as well, which was annoying because I thought, oh, light gray, everything's in light gray, but apparently not. Then the last thing, as you can blatantly tell, I am very much a newbie to Brickwork Studio. Before this project, the only thing I'd done is try to make a few one-piece big figs for a video that's coming out on the main channel soon. This whole thing will be reformatted when I get the pieces for this and made into a main channel video. We're shoving it on Glitch and DVD, which is soon going to become something very different than this. But, you know, this is a low-effort video. I wasn't putting too much into this, alright? But yeah, I didn't know how to make sub-models. I do now. This would be way easier. Smack. This would be way easier now, but, you know, time's gone by, live and learn, that's how it is. And yeah, that's it, okay? We're gonna try and order the parts for this. I've got instructions in the description of this video. They're awful, I didn't edit them at all, it's just completely generated, but you can probably puzzle out what I've done here through that. That's basically all I'm willing to go for in this though. When I get the parts in person, I'll go ahead and, you know, maybe reformat that into a proper set of instructions with any issues that I find with it, because I don't trust myself. I think this is gonna be really awful. This is gonna be a real process when I get them in hand. It's gonna be a real whole thing. So we'll make this a little bit more funny when it becomes a proper video, but yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully I can get some of the pieces that are exclusive to the set without buying it, which is kind of the whole point of this, but we'll see.